Bob McElligott alongside of Jody Shelley now as we wait for John Tortorella to talk to the media after this game. Jody, we've talked about the games that we've seen so far. We've talked about how you can't read a lot into the games, but boy, this one was something else. The Penguins bring a very young group in here. They were a young and tenacious group. They set the tone on the Blue Jackets early in this game, and it just seemed like no matter what the Blue Jackets did, they just couldn't generate today for whatever reason.
They were slower on pucks, much more unorganized. It was a sloppy game and all. But, yeah, this is training camp. And, I was excited, I think we all were, to see the young guys play. And, these are opportunities when you get to play in exhibition games. Some guys that came to camp have not played and will not play exhibition games. And the guys that get in, this is an opportunity to do something extra, to be noticed. And, it's kind of disappointing not to see guys step up and do that. Now, they worked hard, and maybe some guys squeezed their stick. There was a 5-on-3 opportunity. Bjorkstrand had a couple great chances. One goes off the crossbar. Those are things we're talking within inches. But, yeah, puck battles, races to the puck, being strong on pucks, going on the forecheck, things you expect that your players to do. We didn't see that a lot tonight, so sloppy, not a very impressive game for a whole, I think.
Well, the biggest star to start and play the entire game in this one tonight was Sergei Bobrovsky, and it was certainly nice to have him back from the World Cup of Hockey and have him in there. He made some big saves. He gave up the 2 goals, but, Matt Calvert just told me a few minutes ago that he felt they hung him out to dry a little bit too much here tonight, but he made some big saves. All in all, for a guy that hasn't played in the week and a guy that your team is basically built around. You want to see him play like he did today.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I don't know why he played, and I'm not sure why he played the whole game. That was kind of surprising to me.
Well, he hadn't played in 6 days. He
hadn't
played since last Saturday.
I know, but whatever. He didn't look. I thought he was going to stop the first one there. I'm sure he'd like to have back, but he was all right. He was. There were moments that you were like, wow, where is the rest of the team? Yeah. But yeah, he was. I was just surprised that he played the whole game. Maybe that was his decision. But he's coming back. Think about that, playing for World Cup, all that emotion. Think about the letdown for Seth Jones and Brandon Saad too. They're playing a preseason game against nobody they know in the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it's not. It was dull out there tonight, so not much of an emotional game. But yeah, he did all right, but it was more like a practice for him. I thought.
Talk to me a little bit more about that aspect, because as a former player, you understand it when you're going into a game like that against, as you just said, they were playing at the highest level that they could play a week ago, and now they're playing against guys that are more than likely going to be Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins tomorrow. So just that drop-off emotionally, especially in a game that, look, for all intents and purposes, there's no points being given out.
No.
It's not a must-win game. So just describe that if you can.
Well, just think about it. The World Cup was such a big stage, playing against such great players, playing with such great players. And, when you're on a new team, your responsibilities that these guys had, it was at the max. And now, to ease your way into, especially for a goaltender. I don't understand that position at all. I'm not going to try to pretend that I do. But just think about that for Sergei. A lot of sloppiness in front of him. Not a great way to really get his confidence and get his feet set there. It's not like he's just out there doing like a batting practice, let's say. These guys are trying to make the team. There's some speed in Pittsburgh. There's some skill. So it's must have been tough for him tonight. And then I look at Seth Jones and I think, he played in that World Cup with the best players under 23 in the world, and against Canada, USA, and other countries. Good challenge. And this tonight, it's just tough for him to really dial it up.
Well, this on the other side, the Penguins were flying tonight, and I just had this conversation with Matt Calvert a few moments ago, but I know you can understand this and elaborate on it. The way they played, it was their system. It's the way that Mike Sullivan has them going, right? And that's what John Tortorella wants his team to be like. That's how you're going to win in this league. And the Penguins proved it last year. You're going to use speed. You use your speed on the forecheck. It's almost like you use the speed on the forecheck more than you use physical play on the forecheck anymore. Because you got to be there just buzzing around and forcing teams into making mistakes, right?
Well, I think speed comes from being organized, too. Like, you can anticipate, you understand what your line mates and teammates are going to do with the puck, so you can get that extra jump. You can fly through the neutral zone because you know what to expect. It's organized. The advantage of Sullivan tonight is he coached most of these guys last year before he got up to the NHL, and got his feet in with the Pittsburgh Penguins, he's very familiar with all these players. So that whole system familiarity is there for these guys, and that's why they look quicker, I thought. Yeah, Blue Jackets haven't had a lot of system time this year as far as with Torts, but they still have, 10, 11 days of camp? And things are going to break down here. I think you're going to see these guys speed up as far as getting their group together, getting this going, and start working together with what they need to have here for game number 1 on the 13th against Boston.
Yeah, that's a good point you made, because the Pittsburgh system really was the Wilkes-Barre system.
Yeah.
So, and some of the guys that played tonight actually had an advantage because they've been playing that system for a long, long time.